My real estate and YouTube friends. This is Ken Renner coming at you from steamy Austin, Texas, here in a late May market update. We're almost halfway through the year here in 2025, and I just want to go ahead and give you the stats for Austin and our submarkets. And so I appreciate you taking a couple minutes to watch this very important information about what's going on with the market. So just without further ado, I want to talk about what's going on in the Austin market right now. It's been relatively flat for the last year as far as pricing, but we are now seeing a substantial amount of inventory hitting the market, and also we have not experienced the spring rush that it's the spring buying season going into summer. Usually we have a big pickup of activity at this time, sales and what have you, and lots of people looking. It's been much more of a tentative market, and kind of disappointing to people that are trying to sell their homes. We also see that the buyers are much more they're more tentative. They're not in a rush just because they're concerned about what's going on with the market, with the tariffs, with the values going up, or are they going to go down? And so it's important to know your stats so you can say we can predict the future by looking at the past and what's actually happening here. And I'm not really too pleased with what I'm seeing as far as the in the Austin metro. What's going to happen? The inventory is going up too much. Prices are pretty stable, but with more and more supply on the market, then we're going to see potentially some price drops. And so that's what we're trying to get our clients in front of, is that if there's going to be any kind of declining market, especially since we're seeing not a whole lot of big activity like we usually do at this time of year, then we really got to be careful. If you're going to be planning on selling a home, here in the metro, then you want to definitely plan on pricing it right, number one, staging it right, using all the professional things that we do, especially the marketing that we do. I'm going to cover a little bit about the special things, the niche marketing that we do here at Renner Realty. But in the meantime, you're probably going to want to price it not only competitively, but be willing to look at offers that are 97, 95% of asking price. You're going to get those anyways, and that's pretty much what we're seeing, and you'll see that on the stats, is that if it's priced right, you're probably going to get somewhere between 95, 97% of the asking price. If it's overpriced, you won't get offers. It'll sit. So it's got to look right. It's got to be presented right. It's got to have lots of massive exposure, and that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit. We'll also be talking about leases. So I know we have a lot of investor friends of ours that want to know what's going on with the lease market. We're going to cover that real quick here as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the current stats. All right, so here is the April 2025. So that was last month. We're always a month behind on these stats, and so this is the last month's stats. 3.2% decrease in median price for the Austin metro. The Austin metro includes 5 counties, of which the biggest are going to be Travis and Williamson. Travis is pretty much most of Austin is in Travis County, and then Williamson County is up north in the high-tech corridor where I live. And so we're going to kind of look at that. But the overall look is that we have 3.2% decline in prices from last year, April over April. We have the more alarming is a 13% decline in actual closed sales. The months of inventory are jumping up to almost an equilibrium market. 6 months is considered a equal market, but I would say that right now that I think that's old stats, old news, old rules of thumb, because I think right now we're definitely in a buyer's market. The concerning things I see here is you have 8 active listings up 19%, 19.7% at 13,000 active listings for our metro, and then we have 5,700 new listings that just joined the market, but we only have 2,485 closed sales, and we only have 3,000. We only have 3,000 pending sales. So if you look at 13,000 plus 5,000, or almost 6,000, so you're looking at 19,000 potential active and new listings, and you're only selling 3,000 or 4,000 a month. You're going to see that supply increase. And then here's the stat again on the average closed list to close ratio. Price once again is about 95% of asking price, which is about what it was last year. And then days on the market, not too bad, 76 days on the market. So that's for the entire metro. But we're going to see continuing story similar to that. This is the city of Austin, city limits. Median price is $595, so it was actually up a bit from last year, 1.6% increase, and that's 595 is getting pretty much close back to where it was the highest median price back in 2022. Median price, I believe, was around 660 in 2022 for city of Austin. We're up to, well, not like in the 16% drop in sales. And I'm looking at the months of inventory. We're at 6 months for the city of Austin. And then once again, the same tale. We have 5,000 active listings, 2,000 new listings, but only 1,000 pending sales. All right, 62 days on the market. That's definitely a decent time on the market compared to what we're usually seeing. And so Williamson County, which is the North Austin area, and that is looking at we're up about 1.1%. And this is kind of reflecting the fact that people are moving out of Austin and Travis County into Georgetown and Liberty Hill and Leander, the areas up north, to get out a little bit of the chaos. Austin's getting very crowded, and you still have a small town feel up here. So you're seeing Georgetown last year was ranked the number one growing size of its city in the nation. So that's all in that northern tier of the Williamson County. So up 1% on sales median price. We have 4.8 months supply, which is a lot less than the city of Austin and the overall counties. And but we still see that active listings are up, and then you have a 14% increase in listings, and that's a similar concern. The average closed to list prices just hovering at 95%. That goes back to that whole thing. You're expecting to sell your house for $500,000. You price it right at $500,000. You're probably going to get for $475, which is about 5% discount off of the price. So 74 days on the market, not bad, really, especially in a buyer's market. All right, so we also see the median rents. Okay, now we're getting into rents, but let me go back to sales really quickly. What we have to do in this market, we as real estate brokers, as marketers, we have to market the heck out of these properties. And so the things that we do, stop the share here for a second. So the things that we've been doing for our listings are over and above what you normally find, real estate brokers doing. I think over the years, I've been doing this for 40 years, 30 years here in Austin, and what I've found that over the booms and busts of the markets is that a lot of realtors that had never gone through tough times or times where you really have to work the listings to get them sold, they haven't experienced what it's like to do all the extra stuff that you have to do to get things sold. Open houses, mass marketing, direct mail, flyer distributions, just the social media. Just massive coverage on social media, YouTube videos. So there's all this stuff that we do, and it's rather extensive list of things. It's actually a budget that we have to create for each of our listings, because to get them sold, we have to pour in the resources and the time and the effort, and got to get that property looking good and exposed. It needs to be out there on the everywhere you turn, you want to be able to see these listings. So let me go back now to leasing. We deploy the same marketing activities for helping our clients get their properties leased. So if you have a property that's been sitting vacant for a while, let me know. We'll help you with the marketing that we do, and we can help you, whether it be our northern Temple Belton market, or down in San Antonio, New Braunfels, or right here in Austin. If you're trying to get your property leased and you've worked with us before, we can definitely help you get that going for you. And so back to the leasing stats. Okay, so you have the median rent for the whole metro is $2,250, and that's typical of what our typical investment properties here. That actually is going to be about a $400,000 house, just so you know. Kind of the 400 to 450,000 is getting about $2,250. Maybe you could a little bit more, maybe depending on the area, maybe $2,500 for a $400,000 house. But we definitely seen a drop since the peak on rents. And then you have closed down 2.8%. But the good news is we don't have a ton of inventory, 1.9% or 1.9 months of inventory. We do have a lot of 4,000 active leases, which is not too bad. And then we have new leases up to 5.1%, and then pending leases 2.5. More of a balanced market for sure, with the only 2 months of inventory supply and then 48 days on the market. That's and then we're pretty much getting, if it's priced right, you're going to get pretty much your pretty close to your lease. People don't negotiate as much as they have on leases as they would on sales. City of Austin rents a little bit higher, but higher prices for sure too, 1.8%. And the 2 month supply, so basically the same as it was last year. And we've got 49 days on the market for the city. Williamson County up here in the north, we're looking at median rents down to $2,150, down 4.4% from last year. And I'll tell you that's probably has a lot to do with the amount of supply hitting the market. If people can't sell their houses, they're going to turn around and lease them. And then we're also seeing a big trend, which is really interesting, is hundreds of build-to-rent units being put on the ground. These are single-family homes and townhomes that are being built, whole communities around here. And there's about 4 or 5 of them right now. They're in the hundreds of units that they're putting on the ground, because the build-to-rent model is working. A lot of people they're depending on in these higher price markets that people are going to want to rent over trying to own, especially in tougher times when the people are concerned about the sales price, and they don't want to lose money basically on the house going down. So we have a pretty stable rental market, but there is going to be a lot more competition coming up. So price it accordingly, price it right, and that's what we can help you with. All right, so just give you a case study. This is from last week. I'm so stoked. I'm so happy that we got this is in my neighborhood, Santa Rita Ranch, the #1 selling subdivision in the Austin Metro by far. And so I have 2 new listings. I fortunately got them about the same day. And we put a ton of marketing. We did 800 door-to-door flyers. We did a massive Facebook post. We did HGTV style video, which we went viral on YouTube. We have just a social media everywhere. We have open house, and we push everybody to the open house, the mega open house. We had a charcuterie board out there. We had, sometimes we bring in live music. We want to make it an experience when people come into our open houses. So last weekend, we held this house here on Glen Arbor open. I only had it listed for a week, and we had a near full price offer come in, and we got that puppy sold in 7 days. And so super stoked about that for our clients, and also for our new neighbors that are going to be moving in. And they'll be closing in just 10 days. So that's pretty exciting. And then I have a home that's also that's a same home style, same model as the one I live in here, which is kind of cool. But it's about 4 houses down from where I live, and that's the 105 Arbolado Loop. That's $875 for a 30, almost 3,600 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath on an estate size lot. I've got my videos of the HGTV style videos is what I use for that QR code down at the bottom, so people can quickly scan it and they can watch that really cool video that I have. And I've also put that in the comments as well, so you can kind of see it, as well as the you can see the style of video that I do. Much more. We use drone footage. We do on camera. We do high definition. We stage everything. We plan our scripts out, and so yeah, it's quite a production. But I was on House Hunters 3 different episodes, so that's why I'm able to kind of glean from what they did, and why I rewrite the book, the #1 show on HGTV. So this is another one that we've been really pushing, the organic reach with our Facebook posts. I belong to, if you notice this little arrow down here, for the one that did sell last weekend, we had 36 shares. So what I did, our team went in and we did we belong to almost about 40 groups, different types of groups, like moving to Liberty Hill and things to do in Leander, and the rent for rent, to buy, to sell, all these different Facebook groups. I don't do paid advertising as much as I do the organic reach, and so this is less than a week, and that we've had it on the market. We had, from our efforts, we had 563 reaches and 1,894 views, almost 2,000 views of this post. And there were 41 interaction comments, happy faces, all that kind of stuff. So we're definitely getting attention on it. And so that's that's a thing that I don't see a lot of other brokers doing, on top of the typical syndications to Zillow and all that kind of stuff. Also, we do a ton of business on YouTube because it's also highly underused and has a high effectiveness. It's definitely with the visuals. You can see this in less than a week. We have 4,631 views. This basically went viral. That's a pretty good bump from from 0 to 5,000 views in a week. So that's something that we focus on, and we also make sure that it gets out there and that it's search engine optimized. And so that's one of the things that we do, one of the tricks of our trade. I don't know of anybody else my YouTube channel has 11 million views, so I don't know anybody else that does what we do on YouTube. And so the end result is, this is what I hope, if you're thinking about selling a property, that this is what you're going to hope to see. And I can't promise anything because it is a market, but if we price it right, we stage it right, we market it right, we get it exposed on the market, we make sure that everybody knows about it. The whole neighborhood knew about this because we had flyers on every door as far as you can see. And so we got this puppy sold in 7 days and it's closing in 10. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope you have a great holiday weekend. Thank you for taking the time to check out the stats with me. You know how to get a hold of me, 512-423-5626. This is Ken Renner, real estate broker here in Liberty Hill, and serving all of Central Texas from Waco all the way to the far side of San Antonio and everywhere in between. All right, so connecting buyers and sellers for the last 40 years. Ken Renner, I'm your agent. Give me a call when you get a chance.